Why Chris Evans' return as Captain America still shocks fans. Few moments in modern film history felt as final as Steve Rogers' farewell in Avengers Endgame. When Chris Evans' Captain America passed the shield, chose a quiet life, and closed his chapter with dignity, it felt like a rare moment of true closure in a franchise known for endless sequels and multiverse twists. That's exactly why any hint, rumor, or discussion of Chris Evans returning as Captain America continues to shock fans years later. For many viewers, Evans didn't just play Captain America, he embodied the character. From his first appearance in the first Avenger to his final scene on a bench overlooking a lake, Steve Rogers' journey was carefully constructed and emotionally complete. Unlike many superhero arcs that fade out ambiguously, his ending felt intentional. It wasn't about death or spectacle, it was about peace. Fans accepted it not because it was easy, but because it felt earned. That sense of narrative finality is what makes the idea of Evans returning so jarring. In an era where characters are routinely revived through timelines, variants, or multiversal explanations, Steve Rogers' exit stood apart. It represented something rare in blockbuster storytelling: restraint. Bringing him back, even briefly, risks reopening an ending many fans consider sacred. Another reason the idea shocks audiences is how clearly Chris Evans himself appeared to move on. After stepping away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Evans shifted toward different types of roles, prioritizing variety over franchise dominance. He spoke openly about being protective of Captain America's ending, suggesting that returning would require a very specific and meaningful reason. That level of care reinforced fans' belief that the door was truly closed. At the same time, the Marvel landscape has changed dramatically since Evans' departure. The introduction of the multiverse has rewritten the rules of permanence. Characters once thought gone forever have reappeared in alternate forms, cameos, or timelines. While this creative freedom excites some fans, it also fuels concern that emotional stakes could be undermined. The possibility of Evans returning brings that tension into sharp focus. Fans are also deeply attached to Sam Wilson's journey as the new Captain America. Anthony Mackie's portrayal represents evolution, inclusivity, and the idea that the shield is bigger than one man. For many, Steve Rogers stepping aside wasn't an ending, it was a passing of responsibility. The thought of Evans reclaiming the role, even temporarily, raises questions about whether that transition would be weakened. Emotionally, the shock also comes from what Captain America represents. Steve Rogers isn't just a superhero, he's a symbol of integrity, sacrifice, and moral clarity. His story resonated because it wasn't about power, but about character. Reintroducing him risks shifting that symbolism from completion to continuation, which feels unsettling to fans who valued his quiet, human conclusion. There's also the element of expectation versus surprise. Marvel has trained audiences to anticipate returns, twists, and reveals. Yet Steve Rogers' exit broke that pattern. It felt definitive in a way few franchise moments do. When something that final is even rumored to be undone, it naturally sparks disbelief and emotional whiplash. Still, the shock doesn't necessarily come from rejection alone. For some fans, it's mixed with curiosity. If Evans were to return in a limited, respectful capacity, perhaps as a mentor, a memory, or an alternate timeline version, could it add depth rather than diminish the story? That question fuels ongoing debate, keeping the conversation alive long after the credits rolled on Endgame. Ultimately, the reason Chris Evans' potential return as Captain America still shocks fans is that it touches something rare in modern pop culture, an ending people genuinely trusted. Steve Rogers didn't just leave the screen, he completed a journey that felt whole. Anything that revisits that moment carries emotional weight, high expectations, and significant risk. Whether or not Evans ever returns, the reaction itself proves the impact of his portrayal. Captain America wasn't just a role, it was a legacy. And legacies, once closed, are never easily reopened without consequence. What do you think? Should Chris Evans ever return as Captain America? Or should Steve Rogers' ending remain untouched? Share this article with a fellow Marvel fan and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Follow for more deep dives into the moments that shape pop culture history.